the lodestone for the conversation, and rightly so. I mean, it follows on from the Canadian experience. People feel they can understand what it represents, but what it's done is it's taken a lot of the other powers that the bill has, and it's effectively buried them under the top line headline of the caps. The concerns that we've had, relate heavily to what we then need to do in order to comply with the new burden of the bill once it's passed. So let's say, for the sake of argument, we accept the cap as it currently stands. The risk of trading under the bill is substantially higher than it currently is, and the right of procedural fairness is effectively removed by the bill. The option of appeal is removed. The minister has the power to make wide sweeping decisions with no potential for recourse to discuss or have the decision assessed. It's when I use the word draconian, I can't think of another piece of legislation in this country which exists to quite the same extent. And I'm not sure why we've become the yardstick for testing this kind of arrangement, but it raises questions about a much broader democratic process, which seems to be being circumvented. So moving beyond, I guess, the immediate challenge of trading through this environment with the caps and everything that represents, the next 2 years, the next 5 years, what does that look like for providers? And I was asked a question recently by somebody who has a fair bit of control in the decision-making process. If we could wave goodbye to Ministerial Directive 107 and all of the refusals that represents, and for us, as I've already said, there's been substantial refusal numbers that have impacted us, would we embrace the bill? And it was put to us almost as a, which serving do you prefer? This one with the crushed glass or the broken sand? The decision, I guess, though, is basically the same dish. The bill has all of the powers that Ministerial Directive 107 has within it anyway. So there isn't a choice. You're being given the deep blue sea or the devil in the same dish. So our concerns are the bill does need to be reviewed carefully. It's being rushed through to meet a political deadline. We know that elections are next year. We know there's one more sitting of the Senate this year. And we also know that in 2025, there's going to be precious little time to put this thing in the water quickly and for both sides or either side of government to claim victory over the bill. So hopefully the next 4 weeks allow that work to be done. And we're relying on people like Claire, actually, and ITECA and English Australia and the voices in the industry who pull apart the fine detail and speak to the ministers and the senators about this. In many cases, they're not aware of it. In many cases, they're quite naive. They're voting on party lines. They think they're doing the right thing. They're not aware of the devil in the detail. So, I think this is probably where our concerns lie. Take some time, do this properly, move beyond the conversation of caps, get into the detail and get the bill right so it's workable. The other thing I'd also like to say is international students have become this faceless, homologous group of people. Our institution has a very equitable spread of students from all over the world, from the English-speaking world through to the Chinese communities, to Southeast Asian communities, to Latin American communities, and African communities. And to try and pretend that it's one group of people is crazy. I mean, they're as diverse as any other part of the population. And I think we need to move ideal. It's not. They're quite diverse, and that's one of the wonderful things they bring to us. So I'm not sure why we're cutting off that wonderful aspect of the industry as well. But maybe that's also an issue that needs to be considered in the conversation. Thank you.